So welcome everybody. We've got a nice gentle yoga flow to increase strength in our arms and our shoulders, building our core strength and working through more detail on some of our poses. So we'll begin class today in a comfortable seated position and we'll have a strap nearby for later on in the class. But at first we'll just find that comfortable foundation. Rooting down through the sitting bones, maybe taking the opportunity to move the meat from underneath your sitting bones, just grounding down a little deeper. And right at the very beginning, we'll begin to notice our spine and the length that we can find in our spine. Drawing the belly in slightly, lifting up through the lower back. Instead of puffing out the upper ribs, draw them in just a little bit. We'll roll the shoulder blades forward, up, back, and down, and find this nice length through the spine. Taking a nice deep inhale here. Getting ourselves ready for class. We'll first start to take some small, fast circles with the top of our head on the sky. We're getting a little bit of movement into a small portion of the spine, lubricating the spine, noticing any kinks or tight spots. And we'll take now these head circles slow and big. Moving the head around. Nice and slow. So you can notice all the muscles in the neck and in the shoulders that experience these feelings. And we'll take the neck rolls in the opposite direction. Again, noticing the sensations that arise, the different areas. If you find that there's a spot that really feels good to sit and stretch through, don't feel like you have to keep those circles moving. You can pause. This is more like an exploration. Nice work. We'll finish up our last head roll. Lift the spine again nice and long. We'll roll the shoulder blades back and down. Now with one hand on top of each knee, we'll move farther down the spine by taking big barrel rolls, swinging the chest around, allowing the belly to fall. And then as we scoop back, drawing the belly in, rounding the back. Taking these just as nice and slow as you'd like. We'll switch the directions of our barrel rolls. Taking this quiet time just to check in with your body and the sensations that are coming up as you move and roll and round, noticing any tight spots, any sore spots. Great, let's finish up this last barrel roll. Come up nice and tall again, rolling the shoulder blades forward, up, back, and down. Take the opposite cross in the legs. And we'll begin to settle into our breath before we get into our bigger movements. Our spines gotten a little bit of movement to it, and now we can sink into our breath. You can keep the hands on your knees or place one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. The hands on the belly and the chest can be helpful for experiencing this deep belly breath. Let's all push the breath out, exhaling completely. And as you inhale, poof out the belly, and then feel the chest rise. Taking an extra little sip in at the top. And as we exhale, the chest lowers, and then the belly draws in. At the very exhale, push the last little bit of air out. We'll continue that. Inhale, fill the belly. Fill the chest. Taking that sip. We'll exhale out the lungs. We'll draw the belly in. Push out that extra little bit of air. Inhaling, fill the belly. Fill the chest. Taking an extra little sip. Exhale out the lungs. Exhaling out the belly. Push that extra little bit of breath out. Inhale, fill the belly. Inhale, fill the chest. Take that extra sip in. Exhale, lungs, belly. Push that little extra breath out. Inhale, fill the belly. Fill the chest. Extra sip in at the top. Exhaling, release the chest. Draw the belly in. Squeeze the breath out at the bottom. Now on your inhale, find a nice rate, a nice depth that doesn't feel forced. No more sip in at the top. And your exhale, exhale completely. But no need to push that extra air out. Take another round. Smooth and long, but without the forced extra inhale and the forced extra exhale. And again. Now begin to take a slight constriction through the throat. You'll notice a rasping on the inhale, and the exhale sounds like that almost about to start snoring sound. This is our Ujjayi breath. It is the slight constriction through the throat, a full belly and chest inhale and exhale. And it's nice and long and slow. It almost forces the body to take longer, deeper breaths because of that constriction. It helps slow down the heart rate, engages our rest and digest, our parasympathetic nervous system. Helps clear the mind and all the other wonderful benefits that come with a calm and steady mind. You might find that you enjoy this Ujjayi breath and you want to continue it through the remainder of class. Or you might find that, it's fun to do for a few minutes of class. And you can always dabble in it throughout the poses. But you might choose to release it. You can keep the hands at the chest and the belly, or you can bring the hands down to the knees. We'll just take a last moment here to dedicate today's class to someone or something before we get moving. And that dedication can be abstract, or it can be something that you know is going to happen, something that you'd like to see happen. Really no limit. As you exhale, just allow that dedication and intention to reside on a back shelf in the recesses of your mind, knowing that it's there to support us through our poses. If your eyes are closed, blink them back open. We'll re-lengthen the spine, drawing the belly in, lifting through the chest, roll those shoulder blades back and down. We'll inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up overhead. And as you exhale, slowly lower the left arm down towards the floor. Root down through the right sitting bone as you reach the right fingertips up towards the sky a little more. And then we'll exhale, lean over to the left side of the mat. Gaze can come back to neutral, or you might enjoy staring at the floor or up at the finger, or slowly moving between the two options, or enjoying stillness here. Depends on how your neck is feeling today. You'll keep that right sitting bone grounded down into the floor. It's very easy to allow that right cheek to kind of hover up off the ground, but we're going to aim to squeeze them both down to the floor. Collarbones shine towards the wall, feeling this nice stretch through the side of the body. Your next exhale, get a little deeper. Then we'll draw the belly in. And inhale, rise both arms back up. And we'll exhale, lower the right arm down towards the right side of the hips. Ground down through that left sitting bone. Reach up those left fingertips a little taller. And on your exhale, slowly lean over to the right side. Keeping the collarbones shining towards the wall. Left sitting bone grounds down to the floor. Breathing steady and slow, maybe with the Ujjayi breath. Nice. Draw the belly in. On your inhale, lift the arms back up overhead. Taking this into a twist, we'll exhale, twist over to the left. Bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand back behind the hips. Push through that left hand, grow a little taller in the spine. And as you exhale, twist open to the left. You might enjoy a little additional stretch through the left pec. So you can bring the left hand back behind you, reaching towards the right hip. Just getting a little bit more stretch through the upper body. Keep the belly button drawing in, keeping the spine nice and tall. Then our next exhale, slowly unwind. Coming back through center, we'll inhale, lift the arms back up overhead. As you exhale, twist over to the right. Place the left hand down on the right knee. Bring the right hand back behind you. Push through the right hand. Go taller and longer through the spine. Re-engage the abdominal muscles. And exhale, twist to the right. A little deeper on the exhales. A little taller through the inhales. And that same option for a half bind is there if you'd like to extend to the right arm behind the back and over to the left hip. Just opening a little bit more through the pec muscle on the right side and opening, stretching this area back behind the left shoulder. As well as wringing out our spine and getting our organs all worked up. As you exhale, slowly passing back through center. We'll uncross the legs, planting the feet, soles of the feet, Reach down towards the ground. Grab on behind the backs of the thighs. And we'll begin to take our seated cat-cow poses. On your inhale, lift the gaze up, giving a little back bend. Gazing up. As you exhale, round back, gazing at the belly button. Inhale, lifting up, looking up. Exhale, rounding down, rolling down. Feel that nice stretch between the shoulder blades as you roll down. And as you inhale, you'll notice the shoulders come to the back side of the body, broadening the collarbones. Continue to move with your breath, just noticing how the shoulder blades and the front of the chest move through this seated cat-cow. We'll take one more round and then find stillness. Setting up for our boat pose. Roll the shoulder blades back and down the body. Walk the hands back behind the hips. Fingers point towards the hips or out towards the side. Lean the torso back, draw the belly in. Taking a nice deep inhale. Then on your exhale, slowly lifting one shin up, followed by the other shin up. Keeping the belly button drawing in, extending maybe the fingers towards the toes as your balance is feeling stable there. Lift and lengthen the spine just a little bit more, broaden through the collarbones. Because we are working into the arms and the shoulders a little bit more, we're going to keep warming them up with, on your inhale, open the arms out. You're reaching out for a big hug. And then exhale, bring the arms back together. Inhale, open the arms out nice and wide. Exhale, bring the arms back together. Inhale, open them up. Exhale, bring them back together. Go ahead and lower down the feet. Grab on behind the backs of the thighs. Again, take that seated cat-cow. Inhale, lifting up, looking up. Exhale, rounding down, rolling down. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. One more time. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. Next, inhale, find that neutral spine. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Release the hands to behind the hips. Lean the torso back. We'll do one more boat pose. Drawing the belly button in, that nice broadness through the collarbones. Draw the belly in again. And on your exhale, lifting the shins up towards the sky. Feeling the balance through the sitting bones. You might extend the arms out towards the toes. And then if you'd like, on your inhale, open the arms up nice and wide. As you exhale, bring the arms back together. To inhale, open up the arms. Exhale, bring the arms back together. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring the arms back together. And lower the feet back down towards the floor. Grab on behind the thighs. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, round down, roll down. Inhale, rising up to that nice neutral spine. In this position, we're going to move into our reverse tabletop. So we'll bring the hands back behind the hips. Again, they can point towards the hips or point out towards the sides, depending on how your wrists and your just upper body is feeling. Feet are planted hips distance apart. Knees are also hips distance apart. Belly draws in. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly begin to lift the hips up towards the sky. Stacking the knees over the ankles, lifting the hips up, drawing the gaze up towards the ceiling, feeling this big stretch, maybe through the arms, the shoulders, the pec muscles. Gazing up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the booty, helping lift the table a little higher. And we'll exhale, slowly lower the hips back down towards the ground. And we'll windshield wiper the knees left and right. I'll pause. We'll do one more of those reverse tables. So plant the feet down nice and firm, knees or hips distance apart, belly draws in, shoulder blades down the back. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhaling, slowly lifting the hips up towards the sky, bringing the gaze up towards the ceiling. Might even release the head to gaze back. Being gentle with your neck, not forcing it. Feeling that stretch through the shoulders and the pecs. Keep breathing. Lift the gaze back up towards the ceiling, and then we'll exhale, slowly lower the hips back down towards the floor. We'll windshield wiper the knees again, left and right. And then we'll roll over the legs, coming into a regular tabletop. Stacking the wrists under the shoulders, the knees into the hips. We're going to take a moment here in our bear pose. So just working through the different parts of the body, feeling like a bear coming out of hibernation, moving the shoulders, moving the arms, maybe shaking the tail from side to side, maybe continuing with those barrel rolls or cat-cow in the traditional movements. We can rock back into child's pose or just enjoy some stillness. So many options here in bear pose. Okay, taking another moment to find satisfaction in your bear, that kind of freestyle, fun exploration time. So we'll begin to build our plank pose. So again, options for if your wrists start to feel tender is that you can come up onto your knuckles, and we'll just want to make sure that we aren't locking out the elbows by hyperextending them. We still want to keep a gentle bend in the elbow. This helps engage the upper arm as well as the lower arm. So from our tabletop position, we'll draw the belly in nice and strong. Feel the back flat. We're going to spread the shoulders out towards the outer edges of the back. And we're going to begin with a one-legged plank. So we'll extend the left leg out back behind us, and we're just going to plant that left toe down onto the ground. Engaging the belly button in, imagining that we're maybe lifting the right knee up off the ground just a little bit, feeling that engagement through the core, engage as we maybe hover that right knee up off the ground, just little movements here. We'll pause that lifting of the knee. I'll just rock back and forth gently on the left toes, stretching out the back of the left leg. Great. Now we'll pause that, bring the left knee back. We'll shake the hip from side to side, just wagging the tail. And I'm pausing that movement, extend the right leg back behind you. Redraw the belly button in, feel the shoulders spread towards the sides. And we'll begin to warm up the belly by slowly just hovering maybe the left knee up off the floor a millimeter or so. Just noticing that engagement as we make these subtle lifts in the knee. We're taking the weight out of the knee and into the core, into the shoulders, into the arms. We'll pause that little lift that we've been doing, and we'll just enjoy some rocking back on the right foot. Feeling a nice stretch through the back of the right leg. And then we'll bring the right knee back down towards the floor. And rock back into child's pose. Give your wrists a little bit of attention, your hands a little bit of love, rolling out the wrists, rolling out the fingers. Slowing the head down, just allowing the shoulder blades to spread on the back side of the body. Okay, then we'll bring the hands back to the top of the mat. As you exhale, rise back into our table, stacking the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're going to take that one-legged plank and we're going to turn it into both legs in plank. So claw the mat with your fingertips. Notice that you've still got that little bend in the elbows. The elbows, if you were to bend them really deeply, they don't poke out towards the sides, but they swivel towards your legs. So think about the soft part of the elbow facing the same direction as your head is pointed. Kind of hard with long sleeves. Okay. Elbow bends back and not out. Got it. Well, slowly extend your left leg to the back of the mat. Engage your abdominal muscles. As you exhale, extend the right leg to the back of the mat. Keeping that gentle bend in the elbows. Feel the shoulder blades pull to the outer edges of the mat. Draw the belly button in. You might notice that the back of the legs get a little tight. So again, you might rock gently on the toes to stretch out the backs of the legs. Keep that belly drawing in. Great work. Now slowly lower the knees back down towards the floor. Rock back into child's pose, giving yourself a little break there. Plank is a very intense full body exercise. You'll find it in different, like exercise routines, from high intensity interval training to Pilates. And it's just a wonderful transitional pose for our yoga asanas. It's also a full-blown pose on its own. So it's nice to kind of find all those movements in our plank before just moving forward with the next pose. We'll bring the gaze back up to the fingertips, rocking back into our tabletop. We'll take that same plank, but we'll move a little faster. On your exhale, extend the legs out nice and long, keeping the belly drawing in. Hips are in line with the shoulders, shoulder blades spread out towards the side, drawing in, feeling that core strength develop and grow and strengthen. Then on your exhale, lift the hips up towards the sky, coming into our downward facing dog. Feel free to find any movement in the feet, the legs. You can open the feet out, hips distance apart, gentle bend in the knees, and really push the tailbone up towards the sky. Feeling this nice stretch and release through the shoulders. Maybe find a little bit of movement in the head and the neck. You might walk the dog, allowing this to feel like a release after that plank. Elbows still pull towards the back of the mat instead of pointing out towards the sides. We'll pause any movement in our dog, bring the gaze up towards the fingertips. We'll begin to just tip each of the feet up to the top of the mat, coming into our forward fold, our Uttanasana. Feet can be hips distance apart, gentle bend in the knees, and grab opposite elbows and just sway gently from side to side if that feels nice. Maybe a little bit of movement in the head and the neck, relaxing, releasing the muscles. Finding that softness, maybe reconnecting with your breath or your intention, your dedication for the day. We'll slowly pause our movements. Taking a nice bend in the knee. On your exhale, ragdoll yourself up to standing, stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Head comes up last. Rolling the shoulder blades back and down. Feeling nice length through the body. Find that little tuck in the tailbone. Broadness through the chest. Taking a moment here, closing the eyes, calming the breath, taking those nice deep inhales and exhales. You might revisit the Ujjayi breath, that slight constriction in the throat. And we'll feel the weight in our feet. Making any adjustments in the feet to feel grounded in the front and the back, the sides and the sides. So building muscle memory. I'll blink the eyes back open. Well, inhale, lift the arms up overhead, lift the gaze up overhead. Exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way down, keeping the belly nice and engaged, moving nice and slow. Place the hands on the shins, inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way back up, lifting the arms up overhead, gazing up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Great, we're gonna start balancing on both of our feet. What? Am I not always balancing on both my feet? But we'll be putting in an arm variation that gets a nice stretch. So this will be our eagle arms and some additional prep for the legs. So we'll begin by extending, bend the right elbow. We'll swing the left arm underneath, hooking the left elbow underneath the right. So you might keep the arms open like this. You'll feel a nice stretch across the back of the shoulders. Or you may, if you find that you've got the space, bring the palms together, maybe to touch. We're just working in that general direction. We'll pull the elbows down just a little bit more. You'll feel that stretch move. Instead of the elbows being right in front of the face, we'll pull the elbows down over the sternum. So the palms are now a little closer towards the face. So that balancing on both legs, we're going to take this into a chair in the legs. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, sit the hips back. You might move back just a little bit, or you might move back a lot. Just aim that you don't push the knees too far forward. That can be a lot of stress on the knee joints. So imagine that you're maybe pushing your booty against the back of the wall. Squeeze the glutes, feel that nice stretch across the back of the body, opening up the arms. Now on your exhale, slowly rise to stand. Release the arms. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, gazing up. Exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way back down. Place the hands on the shins, inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling all the way back up to standing. Lift the arms up, lift the gaze up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Drop the hands down by the sides. This time, take the left arm in front of you, nice bend in the elbow. We'll swing the right arm underneath, and we'll hook that right elbow underneath the left. So again, hands may be fairly far apart, or you can start to walk them towards each other. Wherever your arms are, aim to draw the elbows down towards the sternum, and the palms are a little closer towards the front of the face. There you go. You get the nice stretch through the backs of the arms. This gets a lot of compression through our lymph area in the arms, so can be a nice stimulation for the immune system. As we exhale, slowly sit the hips back, bending the knees, sitting down into our chair. Keeping the belly drawing in, squeeze the glutes, feeling that warmth build through the arms. That nice stretch through the shoulders. Glutes, legs, thighs, calves, feet, all actively engaged. And we'll draw the belly in. Exhale, rise to stand. Release the arms, lift the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, open up the arms, swan dive forward, hinge from the hips, coming all the way back down. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. This time we'll plant the hands up at the top of the mat. We'll step the feet back to our plank pose. All the way back, building up that strength. Now we'll lower down the knees. Keep the elbows swiveling towards the back of the mat. Gentle bend in the elbows. And we're going to lower down. You can keep the toes tucked or untucked. We'll lower down chin, chest, belly. So that'll look kind of like you're slithering down onto the mat. Bending the elbows towards the back of the mat. Lower down chin, chest, belly. Coming to rest on our belly on the floor. Nice work. With the hands still underneath the shoulders, squeeze the elbows in towards the body. On your exhale, push to the hands, lift the chest up a little bit. We've got our baby cobra. Feeling the engagement through the lower back. Squeeze the shoulder blades so that they pull together in the back of the body and the collarbones open just a little bit more. We'll inhale, gaze up, look up, lift up. Exhale, lower the face back down towards the floor. Softening the lower back. Softening the face down towards the ground. So our baby cobra will be one version of an upward facing dog that we can always come back to if we just aren't feeling the upward facing dog. Keep breathing. Now we'll squeeze the elbows back into the body, pull the shoulders down the back, keep the knees planted into the ground, bring the face to neutral. Push into the hands. On your exhale, lift the chest up in a nice long straight line, moving very, very slowly, lifting the chest up, using that arm strength. So our little knees down push up. And we're going to exhale, rock back into child's pose. Softening the lower back, allowing the arms to be nice and soft. We'll bring the gaze back up to the fingertips, push into the hands, rock forward again into that tabletop. Working through our chaturanga, building that arm strength. So chaturanga means four-limbed staff pose. So chaturanga dandasana. So you know dandasana from the seated staff pose. This is that our feet and our hands are the four limbs of that staff. So what it will look like is with legs straight, moving from plank down into a bent elbow pose. So this is the pose itself, and you'll oftentimes see it in a flow. So we're building the arm strength, the core strength. If you would like to take a straight-legged chaturanga from now on, or those straight-legged planks, you are welcome to. But I'd like to personally keep working on building the strength without engaging all the way just yet. So from our tabletop, keeping the elbows bent, shoulders broadened down, we're going to exhale. Instead of lowering down chin, chest, belly, we're going to lower down with a nice flat back. So keeping the elbows pointed towards the back of the body, we'll exhale, bend the elbows towards the back of the mat, lowering down the chest, keeping it maybe hovering up off the floor an inch for just a breath, and then exhale, lower back down onto the floor. Nice work. That is challenging. Resting your face down onto the floor, extend the hands back behind you, palms face the sky. Allowing the shoulders to spread and soften, finding a moment of stillness here. Allowing the heels to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat, the toes come together towards each other. Noticing the warmth and the sensation through the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the wrists. Great work. We're going to continue to build our core strength through the belly and the back of the body, as well as the arms and the legs. So let's pull the heels together, squeezing the legs together like they're one long, solid line, one tail, squeezing the glutes and the thighs. Feel that activation through the lower part of the body. We'll bring the head back to neutral. Chin or forehead rests on the ground. Draw the belly button in. Take a nice deep inhale. On your exhale, start to lift the hands up towards the sky. Lift the shoulders up towards the sky. Lift the face up towards the sky. Take an inhale here, breathing in our half locust pose. And on our exhale, lift the heels up towards the sky, lifting that whole tail, that long leg line up towards the sky, coming into our locust pose. Continue to breathe. Noticing the sensations. Maybe coming back to your intention or your dedication. Just another breath here. And then exhale, lower all the way back down to the floor. Rest on your other cheek. Enjoying that bit of complete relaxation. So we're engaging everything, and then we get to soften everything. All right, we'll do one more locust pose before moving on. Pull the heels together, squeeze the legs together, creating that solid line of energy, that strong tail back behind you. Hands reach down by the hips, palms face the sky. Bring the face back to neutral. Chin or forehead rest on the mat. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, lift the hands, the palms, the shoulders, the head up towards the sky. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lift the lower legs up towards that sky, that nice long tail. Feeling maybe like we're Superman, Superwoman. Keeping everything engaged. Keep breathing. Begin to lift the corners of your mouth up towards your ears. Then exhale, slowly soften and release, resting on the other cheek. Allow the heels to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. Maybe shake the hips from side to side gently, just releasing, relaxing the lower back. Nice work. Bring the gaze back to neutral, chin or forehead, and we'll bring the elbows now underneath the shoulders. We're going to take a slightly deeper back bend here, pushing down into the elbows, the palms on the ground. Push into the elbows, lift and lengthen the spine up nice and tall, lifting the gaze up towards the opposite wall. And then we'll inhale, lift the gaze up towards the sky. And as you exhale, draw the chin down towards the chest. With the chin down towards the chest, begin to find some little movement in the neck, bringing right ear to right shoulder, and then left ear to left shoulder, moving nice and slow. So we can experience those sensations in the neck. Then we'll pause, coming back to center once you find some balance between the two sides. We'll lift the gaze to neutral. Take your left hand into the center of the mat. We'll push down through that left elbow and left forearm, and we'll inhale, extend the right arm up towards the sky, getting a little twist here. And then we'll exhale, thread this right arm underneath the left into that little space behind the upper arm. We're going to lower down onto our right upper arm, coming into an arm floss or a thread the needle. You can lower the face down onto the arm or onto the ground. Imagine that your shoulders are just getting a nice little stretch in the back of the body. Lower body is soft. Nice work. Bringing the left elbow back underneath the left shoulder, left hand back into the center of the mat. Push through the left arm. Inhale, release the right arm back up towards the sky. And as you exhale, lower the right elbow down underneath the right shoulder. Right hand comes to the middle of the mat. Push down through the right arm. Inhale, lift the left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right, lowering down onto your left upper arm. And then rest the face on the right hand. Aiming to totally soften and relax here. You may not experience much sensation, or you might experience a lot of sensation. But wherever you are, aim to breathe steadily and slowly. Now let's bring the right elbow back underneath the right shoulder. Push through that right arm. Inhale, extend the left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, lower the left elbow back down towards the floor. We'll take one more Sphinx pose, pushing through the elbows. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the gaze up. Exhale, open up the elbows, lower the chest down, face down. We'll walk the hands back by the shoulders, squeezing the elbows into the body. Find a little bit of activation in your lower body. Swivel the heels up towards the sky. Engage your glutes. Hands push down underneath the shoulders. Elbows pull in towards the body. Gaze is neutral. On your exhale, slowly push into the hands. Lift the chest up. Lift the gaze up. Coming back into our baby cobra. Noticing the sensation in our lower backs. Noticing that engagement there. So I mentioned before, this will lead into our upward facing dog, which you might have practiced before in vinyasa flow classes, or if you did sun salutations. So noticing the sensation in the lower back, we'll slowly give ourselves a break, lower the head back down towards the floor, resting on a cheek. So upward facing dog has a similar shape. However, there's more engagement through the arms. The arms will be straightened. The hips will come off the ground. The legs are engaged, and it's just the tops of the feet and the hands that rest on the ground. So we'll walk through that. You might know that it's for you or not for you. So listen to yourself as we move through. Bring the gaze back to neutral. Pull the elbows again back into the sides of the bodies. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs. Take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, push into the hands, finding that low cobra. If this is enough today, that you're like, yeah, this feels great, I'm good here, stay here. If you would like a little more, push into the hands, begin to straighten the arms up, lifting the hips up off the ground. So different from a high cobra where the hips are down on the ground. It's a little intense on the lower back, but keeping the legs engaged and lifting the hips up off the ground will give you our upward facing dog. The gaze comes up towards the sky. And then exhale, lower the knees down towards the floor if you're in the upward facing dog. Everybody rock back into child's pose. Moving nice and slow here. Taking our back bend into a forward fold. We just want to be nice and slow. It feels really good. But moving slow is the key there. Nice work. Feeling this nice relaxation through the lower back. Walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. Feeling that nice stretch through the lower right body. And walk the hands back through center and over to the left side of the mat. I'm sorry, right side of the mat. And walk the hands back to center. Bring the gaze up towards the fingertips. Exhale, rock back into our tabletop. I'm just going to roll over the legs. Coming into a comfortable seated position. We'll keep the strap, or we'll have the strap nearby. We're going to move into another stretch through the trapezius, the triceps. We were just using those a lot with our chaturangas, so we'll stretch those out. So this is the upper portion of a cow face pose, Gomukhasana. So we'll leave the legs out of it for now. We'll just enjoy the benefits of the arm work. So we'll take the strap into our right hands, extending the right arm out, palm towards the sky, about halfway through. And we'll lift the right arm up towards the sky. And we're going to bend the right elbow, allowing the arm to come back down behind us. You might help the strap come down. So with the left arm, extend it out towards the left side, swivel the thumb down towards the ground, and begin to bring that arm back behind you, bending the left elbow. We're going to start to reach towards that strap behind us. Working the hands towards each other slowly, gently. You'll get a nice stretch through the shoulders, as well as through the pecs and the trapezius. I'm sorry, the tricep. Oh my gosh. Tricep and trapeze. I begin to wiggle the fingers closer and closer to each other as you gain more stretch in the arms. And notice what your lower belly is doing and what your ribs are doing. Might be kind of natural to want to go into a back bend here, but let's aim to draw the belly in, lifting and lengthening the spine up nice and tall. And those floating ribs, try to tuck them in just a little bit more. So the opposite of that is the kind of back bend, puffed out ribs. What we're aiming for is that drawing them in and lifting and lengthening through the back of the spine. Drawing the chin down towards the chest might feel really nice in the neck, or it might not today. So just noticing how that feels. Lift the gaze back up. Release the strap from behind you. Unwind the arms. Back down towards the floor. Let's give the arms a little shake, rolling the shoulders, just getting a little bit of movement through the arms. Freestyle arm stuff. Well, come back to stillness. Taking whatever movements you need before the second side. We'll draw the belly in, lift the chest up nice and tall. Take the strap in the left hand. Extend the left arm out nice and long. Lift the arm up overhead, bends the left elbow back behind you. Extend the right arm out, flip the thumb down towards the ground, bring the hand back behind you, and then start to reach towards that strap. Might wiggle the arms towards each other. Maybe someday your fingers will touch. Your hands may clasp. And again, just breathe. Noticing the sensations. Again, noticing what our core is doing. We'll draw the belly in just a little bit, but we'll tuck in those upper ribs. Maybe a slight tuck of the chin down towards the chest. Bring the gaze back to neutral. Release the strap from behind you. Unwind the arms. Find a little bit of movement again through the arms, maybe shaking out the hands, shaking out the wrists, maybe rolling the shoulders, maybe a combination of all of it. Look like one of those wavy, wacky arm things. Great work. Okay. So roll the shoulder blades forward, up, back, and down, finding that sensation through the shoulders, the chest, that new warmth and length, and yeah, just sensation through the upper body. We'll take the strap with us as we uncross the legs, plant the soles of the feet down onto the ground, hips distance apart, nice bend in the knees. We're going to grab onto the legs. We're going to slowly roll ourselves down onto the ground. Setting up for our bridge pose. Pull the heels in towards the sitting bones. Plant the feet nice and flat, parallel to each other. You might even tickle the heels with your fingertips. They get that close to the sitting bones. We'll spread the hands down by the hips, press the hands down into the floor, spread the shoulders down onto the ground. Take a slight tuck in the chin. Draw the belly button in, feel your sacrum press down towards the floor. Squeeze the glutes. On your exhale, slowly lift the hips up towards the sky. Finding our bridge. You might take a gentle tuck in the shoulders underneath you, reaching the hands down towards the hips. Taking that nice big bridge, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Getting a stretch through the front of the body and some engagement through the back side of the body. Breathing steady and slow here. We'll exhale, release the hands, unwind the shoulders, lower the hips back down towards the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae. Open up the arms, windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Bring the knees back to center. Draw the knees into your chest. Grab onto the knees. Give yourselves a nice big hug here. Keeping the head grounded down on the floor. Take a gentle rock from side to side with the hips. Getting a little massage on the ground. Nice work. Coming back to center. Release both legs out nice and long onto the floor. Grab your strap. We'll draw the right knee into the chest. Place the strap at the bottom of the right foot, slowly kicking the right heel up towards the sky. Enjoying this first part of the stretch in the back of the leg. Left toes actively point towards the sky, getting a nice stretch in the back of the right leg. We'll take the strap into the right hand. Bring the left hand down towards the left hip. Moving slowly with your breath, open the right leg out towards the right side of the mat. And noticing the sensations that you're experiencing today. You might be a little looser or a little tighter than previous days. That's totally normal. Meeting yourself where you are today. We'll draw the belly in. As you exhale, slowly lift the right leg back up towards the sky. Grab the strap with both hands. On your exhale, slowly lift the head and chest up towards the knee. And we'll exhale, slowly lower the head and chest back down towards the floor. We'll take the strap now into the left hand. Extend the right arm out towards the right a little anchor for your shoulders. We'll exhale, slowly lower the right leg over to the left side of the body. Soften the left leg, soften the belly, maybe even bring the gaze over to the right fingertips. Great. Bring the gaze back to central. Draw the belly in. On your exhale, slowly lift the right leg back up towards the sky. Reflex the left toes. Grab the straps with both hands. While exhale, slowly lift the head and chest up towards the right knee. Getting closer and closer. Lift a little bit higher. And then relax. Exhale, soften the head, the face. Release the right foot down towards the ground, moving nice and slow, lowering that heel down slowly, slowly till it comes to rest on the floor. Allow both toes to fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. Just enjoying that nice sensation through the right leg. Nice work. Reflex both sets of toes up towards the sky. Draw the left knee into the chest. Place the strap at the bottom of the left leg and kick the foot up towards the sky. During the first part of this stretch, just that nice sensation running through the back of the right leg. We'll bring the right hand down to the right hip. Reminder to keep those hips grounded. As you exhale, open the left leg out towards the left side of the room. Noticing that stretch again. Maybe the difference between the right and the left side. If you notice that your mind is wandering, bring the thoughts back to your breath or to your intention and your dedication. Draw the belly in. We'll exhale, slowly lift the left heel back up towards the sky. Grab onto the straps with both hands. As you exhale, lift the head and chest up towards the left knee. And then slowly lower and release. Take the strap into the right hand. Extend the left arm out towards the left. A little anchor for the shoulders. As you exhale, lower the left leg across the body to the right side of the mat. Soften the right leg. Maybe bring the gaze over to the left arm, left fingertips. Lift the gaze back up towards the sky. Draw the belly button in. On your exhale, slowly lift the left leg back up towards the sky. Reflex the right toes. Grab the straps with both hands. Exhale, lift the face up towards the knee. Getting closer and closer. Building that core strength. Building that flexibility. And we'll exhale, soften and release. Lower the head, release the foot. Lower the leg down nice and long onto the floor. Coming to rest in our final pose, Shavasana. So allow the heels to rest on the mat. Toes fall out towards the outer edges of the mat. Hands come down by the hips, palms face the sky, tucking the shoulders underneath you, closing the eyes. Just taking any of the movements that you need to feel completely settled down for our final resting pose. So if you need an extra pose or two in order to settle into rest, feel free to take those. And then when you find yourself in Shavasana, release any control on the breath, any control on the mind. And we'll relax the feet. We'll relax the calves and the shins. Relax the thighs. Relax the hips. Relax the belly. Relax the chest. Relax the shoulders. Relax the arms. Relax the hands. Relax the neck. Relax the jaw. Relax the muscles between the eyebrows. Soften and relax. Begin to bring a little movement back into your fingers and your toes. Taking a slightly deeper inhale and then exhale. Take some larger movements in the body as we slowly roll over onto one side. You can keep the eyes closed or the gaze softly lowered. Then with the help of your arms, press yourself into a comfortable seated position. Hands can rest on your knees or come together at heart center. Now, thank you all so much for your practice today, for your time, for your energy. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.